I'm going to show you an amazing strategy for validating your products. It's going to save you a ton of time and money so you can find out exactly what your customers want. Let's go. Hey guys, today I'm going to be talking about how to validate your products by selling at local markets. Selling at local markets is an incredible way to validate your e-commerce store, and you can save a lot of time and money in those initial phases. It takes a bit of time and energy at the start, but really at the end of the day, it's totally worth it. This strategy is going to save you months of collecting data and hundreds of dollars, if not more, in saved ad spend. Now, local markets are just one way to talk to your customers. The important thing here is that you have two-way communication with those customers. You talk to them and they talk to you. Okay, so let's get into it. So your goal is to create a successful e-commerce store. What makes an e-commerce store successful? Well, there are a lot of things that make a successful store, and I go through a lot of them in my videos here on my channel, but one of the main things is make sure that you're helping people and adding value with your products. The best stores I've ever built and worked with have done exactly this. They have a clearly defined target customer. They also really understand the pains and frustrations of that customer. Then, their product and brand is designed to solve those problems for that customer. This is what makes amazing brands and stores, because you can scale them up very quickly and profitably because the ad spend is so efficient. They convert so well at such a low cost per conversion. Okay, so why is this important? The most important thing about running a business and running an e-commerce store is that you are helping people and adding value. Why? Because money is really just a representation that tells you that you are adding value. People don't give you money for free. You need to demonstrate value before they hand over their hard-earned cash. This is how business works, and this is how our world works. So how do you find your target customer, find out a problem they have, and then create a product that solves that? You talk to them. Most people spend a lot of time setting up their website and setting up the perfect initial paid ad campaigns just to try and figure out this thing. Why are people converting on their website? This also even requires a bit of starting knowledge about your audience and who they are. If you try doing this without even knowing who your customers are, you're basically playing the lottery. You are hoping that your website and product solves their problem, even though you have no idea who they are and what their problem is. You need to listen to your customers. If you just have live chat installed on your website, only a tiny proportion of your traffic are going to actually engage and tell you that your website sucks or that they have a problem that's different from what you're trying to solve. You might be able to see that your conversion rate is so low, 0.01%, but this doesn't tell you why it's so low. That's why you need to open up this two-way communication and speak to those customers. This is why getting to some local markets is a great way to validate your product. It's very easy and something very few e-com store owners do, and it's a massive boost towards your store's success. The stores that I've worked with that were able to do this were able to quickly figure out who their target market was, the problem that they're solving, and then build a better product or find a better product that solves this problem. A number of years ago, I actually managed some local markets. That's why I say this sort of thing. And I saw a number of different entrepreneurs come in and they would use the stores to try out the market. They would have their product there, and then the next week they would come back and iterate. And these people went on to build bigger and bigger stores, e-commerce stores, brands, and then eventually got into retailers. I've also worked with 3 different e-commerce stores in the past 12 months alone that have done this exact thing, setting up at local markets and then building their e-commerce store once they've really honed in and validated their product. These 3 stores were so much easier to scale on paid traffic. Okay, so what's the strategy here? We want to rent a store or a table at some local markets, bring along your products if you have them, and then start getting feedback from all the traffic, the customers, the people walking past at the markets. If you don't have a product in your hands yet, that's totally fine. Just set up some signage, take some photos of your product, print them out, and just show people that you're trying to get feedback and get their opinion on these products. You can even start a survey there and give someone some sort of incentive so they fill out a form and you get some information from your target market. A quick little tip here is that you can go and see if there's a coffee stall at the market or some sort of food and tell them that you'll give people vouchers to buy a coffee, and you do some sort of prepay arrangement there. So when people fill out the form, they get a free coffee and they go straight to the coffee store, boom, they get a free coffee, everyone's happy. But the key here, guys, is to talk to people. Really ask the right questions and find out what their big problems are. For example, say if you want to start a store that helps gardeners. I would research the local markets in your area and find the one that is more likely to have gardeners. Maybe there's some sort of garden fair or garden club, or maybe just even setting up outside a plant stop like a nursery and talking to people as they go in and out. So you could rent out a little space or just set up your little shop there, print off some photos of some ideas for products, just have some talking points in mind to ask these people so you can get a better idea of who they are and what they're looking for. Just something to start the conversation. And once you start talking to people, you want to ask questions like, what are your biggest frustrations with gardening? What do you want to spend more time doing in your garden? What do you hate doing in your garden? Are there any tools that you wish you had? Of course, make sure you just take notes on what you're learning as you speak to these people. It will be a big day and you'll talk to a lot of people, and by the end of the day, you'll start seeing some really interesting trends. A lot of people will have problems with certain things, certain areas, maybe certain tools, certain parts of their garden, and that gives you an idea of where to start and start researching the different products that you could sell to these people. Okay, what if you don't want to spend any money on a stall and there are no markets in your area? There are so many ways to do this for free. You could honestly go to a plant store in this example and just talk to people. Be polite, go up to them and respectfully say, hey, what are you looking for and what are your biggest problems? Get into the conversation, be interested in their topic and find out more about them. You're researching here and building up a lot of data that's going to really help you figure out who your target market is and what they're looking for, their problems, all that kind of stuff. The gold nugget here isn't that you set up at some local markets. The key here is talking to these people with a two-way communication so you can get some great feedback on your ideas and figure out what problems do they have. But why do I recommend setting up at local markets? Because once you find a problem, yes, you'll set up your e-commerce store and you'll start selling those products. But the cool thing is you can go back to those markets and then set up a real store and actually start selling those products in person as well. You can get people to physically use the products, watch them using it, and get their feedback. This is even better because you can just keep iterating and improving what you know about your customers and your products. If you return to the markets next week, those customers often come back each week. It's a pretty common thing, and they'll be able to tell you how the product went. Yes, it may sound like a lot of time and energy, and you're gonna have to get off that computer chair, but honestly, this is gonna save you months and months of time that you would spend with your store anyway. It also teaches you some incredible skills in business and entrepreneurship that are going to help you for the rest of your life. Anyway, guys, I hope that video was helpful. If it was, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions at all, please leave them in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer every single one. If you want to see more videos on how to grow your e-com store, please check out my channel and consider subscribing. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.